Hello, 12 bitches, and welcome to this week's edition of CrashTalk Sports. I'm your host, Matt Bunton. I'm here with
Jayden Foster.
And only Jayden Foster, because Stevie's lame and Thomas Larson is just as lame. He's probably found a buffet somewhere or something. I don't know. And, Stevie, he probably found, farm.
He's too busy being a rocker boy.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, shout out Stevie Bogano and Guilty as Charged second place right now in that national competition he won't stop texting me about.
National competition? What national competition?
His band is in a national competition, and he sent me like 4 texts about it. Like, he's in second place right now, and he's like, please vote for me. I donated $10 though, too, so it's like, they better win, because otherwise, my $10 went to waste, bro. Anyways, NFL draft episode. This is the NFL draft episode, but not a mock draft Monday.
We know Jackson Dart's going to the Steelers. We know he's going to be a first-round pick. And we know he's going to be the best quarterback in the class. Regardless, we also know Cam Ward is going to be a bust. There's no way he pans out.
Thank you.
He's going first, but he's going to be a bust. Shadir Sanders, he'll be lucky to be a backup, to be honest. He'll be a good game-managing backup. He's not going to be anything crazy.
He'll be sitting right next to Jadeveon Clowney as one of the most mid-first overall picks of all time.
Who, Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. No, I wouldn't even call Cam Ward mid. He's just going to be trash.
That's valid, not going to lie.
Yeah, but we all know Calvin Banks is going to the Niners. We all know Will Campbell is probably going to go top 5. Ashton Jennings will probably be a Bear. Bears
Maybe.
will probably trade up.
I don't know if you heard, actually, in Vegas, the current highest bet is that he goes to Vegas.
Yeah, that's another one. Vegas, the Bears.
Yeah.
Jaguars GM got caught up saying that they believe Ashton Jennings is the last piece of their offense, which he definitely isn't. You're gonna need like at least 40 other pieces for that team.
He's the last piece of an offense that has no wide receivers, no tight end anymore because Evan Ingram's gone, and virtually no O-line. So yeah, all you need is Ashton Jennings and you're fine.
Nah, bro, they have that one basketball player, don't they? Didn't they sign or that was the Panthers that signed a random basketball player to play tight end? It's crazy.
This NFL, man.
Some issues with the Niners. Kittle isn't happy.
No, he's not.
He wants money.
Which is weird because I've never seen the guy not smiling. So
yeah, he wants money. And
of course he does.
You know who else wants money? Brock Purdy wants money. However, Brock Purdy showed up to voluntary OTAs today. George Kittle did not. Which is kind of a surprise because George Kittle usually always shows up. Hopefully we can get a contract with him going, because if we can't, I'm going to hate to see him go.
Thing is, I don't think that anyone really expected George Kittle to be, not wanting to be part of the team if he doesn't get paid. I don't think that was very expected going into the offseason. I think that most people figured out George Kittle. He loves it here in San Fran. We, want it for life. He wants money, of course, and I think the Niners have been realizing they kind of need to start lowballing people because they kind of want Brock Purdy, and they kind of want to have a team that's going to have a future somewhat. And the issue is, you have one of the best tight ends in football. In fact, I would argue the best tight end in football right now. You have George Kittle, and if he's the best tight end in football, arguably, alongside Brock Bowers, then he's going to want money because he's not going to get some low-end bottom, 16 deal.
Brock Bowers is not right alongside Kittle, my friend.
My guy. Did you see Brock Bowers?
He was the only thing on that offense. If Kittle got force-fed targets like Bowers did, dude, he would have had 1,600 yards. Kittle had a bunch less. He had 30 less receptions and only 20 less yards. It was ridiculous.
Wide receiver 1 had freaking 0% drop rate.
Just look at this.
I'm just saying.
He had
also
112
look at his quarterback,
receptions.
bro.
He had 112 receptions, 1,194 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, because surely my guy.
He was the only guy on that offense. George Kittle had to deal with a bunch of other target shares because there's a lot more than just him on it. He had 78 receptions, 1,100. He only had 90 less yards, and he had 40 less receptions.
Yeah, but obviously,
And he had 3 more touchdowns.
because surely Minshew was able to place it in the hands for big plays, right?
Obviously, he placed it in his hands 40 more times, and George Kittle got.
Because Minshew's that good.
Yeah, because Minshew put it in his hands 40 more times, and George Kittle got the ball, and yet Kittle had only 90 less yards and more touchdowns.
I understand your point. That's why I said that Kittle was the number 1 tight end.
But Brock Bowers ain't even 2, bro.
Brock Bowers is 2.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't. He's not the second best tight end in the league.
Then who's better than him?
Not Brock Bowers.
Who's better than Brock Bowers besides George Kittle?
When you're a rookie, you don't get to be number 2. Well,
but who's better than him?
Who's better than him?
Who would you rather have on the team right now? Like if George Kittle was gone.
Who would I rather have? Probably
the fact that you got to think about it shows my point.
Well, I would say T.J. Hawkinson, but he got injured and just kind of, I don't know if I even saw him out in the field this year.
So that's a no.
Bro, Sam Laporta just did not get that many targets this year. Or maybe he did.
I had him on fantasy. He was pretty cheeks.
Yeah, he only had 60 receptions, 700 yards. Kittle had 10 more receptions than Laporta and had over 300 more yards. That's crazy.
Anyways, moving on from that. Yeah, Niners in a little bit of a potential trouble and controversy, and
it always happens every single year.
I mean, it's just like the state of California where they're from. Like, let's be real. There's just some sort of bad just crap going on.
Eagles were able to pay everyone, but the Niners are having troubles now. Like, come on, bro.
We were able to pay everyone that we needed, and we have them on long-term deals. And on top, I mean, I guess the issue there is we didn't sign anybody really, but
Niners didn't sign anyone, and we can't even keep our own players. So what about?
Yeah, we lost a couple people, but we kept the key players, right? Like we lost our guard. My gosh, how am I forgetting his name, bro?
Bruh.
Mekhi Becton.
Dog.
My guy. Anyways. Shout out Jayden Rakucci.
Eagles have 30-second pick, right?
The Eagles have the 32nd, yeah.
Eagles ain't finna get nobody good blood.
See, that's the thing, though. Someone always drops to us, and we always trade up to someone. So I want to talk about actually.
What you doing? All right, listen. What you doing if you trade up and send away A.J. Brown? How mad would you be?
So, all right, this has been a lot of talk actually lately. So, here's what I think. I don't want to lose A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown going would be awful. On top of that, I just got an A.J. Brown Kelly Green jersey. I do not want to
now
have
I really
to deal
want
with
him
that.
to get traded.
But say he does get traded, he is my favorite player on the Eagles as well. Just because of off the field stuff, I really like him. But
let's talk about really good people off the field. Jalen Carter's got to be a top 5 human being off the field.
Shut. That's hilarious. All right, so this is the trade rumors which I've been hearing. So number one, there has been talk that if Abdul Carter falls to number 4, which is very likely that he does, not guaranteed because the Browns could take him.
Browns will take him.
I don't think it's completely on lock that he gets taken from the Browns, but I think that there's a strong possibility. Talk is, though, if A.J. Brown, if Abdul Carter drops to 4, A.J. Brown goes to the Patriots for the 4th overall pick. We draft Abdul Carter, and that's been talked about. Apparently, the Patriots GM suggested that the Eagles already sounded on board with it if it were to happen. I don't think that Howie Roseman's already on board. I think that he's going to need some convincing. But because he did just sign A.J. Brown to about a 3-year deal, I think. 3-year extension. So I think that if it does happen, the only acceptable situation is if we then trade our pick number 32, because what it sounds like is it's just A.J. Brown for the 4th overall pick, period. That's just the entire trade that was suggested. And in that case, I'd like to trade from 32 up to at least like 22, 20. And then in that case, we're in position to get someone like Matthew Golden or maybe Luther Burton.
Who?
Matthew Golden.
Who?
There's no way you're saying
Who is
bro.
that?
Texas wide receiver. Ran the fastest 40 out of any wide receiver at the combine.
Sounds like a bum to me. Sounds like I've never heard of him to me.
Ran a 4.29, and he was the return man for Texas. He ran some crisp routes. He looks a lot like Cooper Kupp in a way, and except a lot faster, more athletic Cooper Kupp pretty much. I would be down to have him. I would prefer to have
let's
AJ.
just add more wide receivers to an already wide receiver stacked team. Let's just keep adding up the wide receivers.
Well, no, I'm just saying if we lose A.J. Brown, then I'd like a replacement like him. Because Smitty can be number 1. Matthew Golden can be number 2. Jahan Dotson can be number 3. And then, I'm happy.
A.J. Brown to the Niners? That would, it's not in division, so it's not impossible. But I don't even know what the Niners would give.
Look,
probably our first round, probably another first round, probably a second round. We'd have to give a lot of draft capital up.
Yeah, because you're what, pick number 11?
Hand you Ayuk, bro. You can just take Ayuk for free.
You're pick number 11?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is I think that Howie Roseman, I've said this before and I'll say it again, and, I know that people disagree with me. He is the best GM potentially in sports. He's made a lot of really good trades. The Carson Wentz trade, which resulted in 3 first-round picks that won us the Super Bowl in the end. And
bro, just locked in.
Yeah, for real. People are complaining about how the Eagles haven't signed anybody, but in the end, would you rather sign a couple of, fill-in replacements, maybe one guy that's a little older and, you have him for a good amount of time, or would you rather keep the guys that won you a Super Bowl? I think that I like the guys who win, championships. And I know I'm defending Howie Roseman after a pretty poor offseason because, that's what an Eagles fan's got to do. That's what any fan's got to do. But, I think that overall the offseason was not as bad as some people think it is because we got to keep the people that were the staples of our team.
Yeah, and basically that's all you really need. If my Niners could have just kept Greenlaw, Hufanga walking was fine. He always was injured anyway. Greenlaw was always injured, but, it's Greenlaw, dude. He was such a cornerstone of our linebacker core, and he was our number 2. He wanted to go be a number 1, and he went to go play for the team that he was a fan of when he was a kid. So, it's hard to compete with that. Our team's kind of falling apart, but
yeah.
Hopefully, what's his name? John Lynch is going to lock in. Do more than just his due diligence.
I don't know if you've heard, and I don't know if you agree with it. Trade rumors, CMC going away from the Niners again. What do you think of that?
I will be ecstatic to get rid of him. Get some good draft capital for a guy that will not ever be what he was.
Double Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah, well, if we can get a first round out of him, bro, that would be great.
Okay, I want to talk about something about the draft real quick. I'm in love with the draft. And, by the way, I have 200 people scouted out on my thing now. But,
dog.
All right, so there was a... do you know some of the professionals around the draft? People like Daniel Jeremiah, or, Mel Kiper. Do you know those people? Do you know, a lot of the professionals, like Daniel Jeremiah or, Mel Kiper, these people that make these, mock drafts and things like that, the professionals that, work with, ESPN and NFL. Mm-hmm. There was recently a new ranking out. I believe it was done by Bucky Brooks. Nope, not Bucky Brooks. Wait, yeah, it is Bucky Brooks. My bad. Yeah, Bucky Brooks released brand new rankings, and I want to know what you think about some of these ratings, because I personally never really like a lot of Bucky Brooks stuff. I think that
Rage
a lot
bait?
of it's stupid. Feels like rage bait, yeah. I actually agree with a lot of this one. So we're going to start with this. Top 5 quarterbacks in the class from Bucky Brooks. This is Prospects 3.0. Shedeur Sanders at number 1.
Bro.
Cam Ward at number 2.
Stop.
Jackson Dart at number 3.
Dude.
Jalen Milroe at number 4. And Kyle McCord at number 5.
I'm just not going to lie. This quarterback class is so bad.
It really is. But, I mean, I feel like this is better than a lot of people's, because a lot of people have Cam Ward at number 1. Shedeur Sanders at number 2. Jackson Dart at number 3. Jalen Milroe at number 4. I feel like just swapping Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward just feels better to me, because I do feel like Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion, is absolutely the better quarterback right now.
I feel like Jackson Dart's number 1.
I think Jackson Dart could be. Also, I just think it's funny how it lists his college at Mississippi on here. No, his college is Ole Miss. Ole Miss is just in Mississippi.
So ridiculous.
But nice job there, buddy. Main thing, though, that I would change personally is Kyle McCord from Syracuse at number 5. I just disagree. I don't think that he's there. I would put Dylan Gabriel right there. But yeah, I think that's a more agreeable list than a lot of other lists that I've seen. Going to the top 5 running backs, though. Number 1 is Ashton Genty. What a surprise. And then number 2, he has Amarian Hampton, which I think is a great pick. He has number 3, Trayvon Henderson. Number 4, Quinshawn Judkins, and number 5 Cam Scatterbill. I like the top 3. Adam Medeiros. Shout out Adam Medeiros.
Adam Medeiros.
My fucking
Goat.
retard.
The GOAT weatherman.
For real.
Medeiros will always be the GOAT weatherman.
That's true. All right. One of the main things that I would change about this list is I like at number 3, me personally, I would rather have that dude from Iowa. That dude from Iowa. What's his name? I can't remember right now, but I'll remember at some point, probably. What do you have to say?
I have absolutely nothing to add.
This dude, bruh.
I feel like Cam, how do you say his last name? Cam Sabat, whatever his name
Cam
is.
Scatterbill?
Hope the Niners draft him. He looks like he could easily be one of the better prospects and develop into one of the better running backs from this draft.
Moving on to the wide receivers. Number 1 is Travis Hunter, which is very funny because before he had Travis Hunter unranked.
T-Mac's better. T-Mac's better. T-Mac's a better receiver.
I agree. I think Travis Hunter is probably second best receiver overall in this class. I would take him over Matthew Golden, over Emeka Egbuka, over Luther Burton as an individual player at that position. At that position at wide receiver, I think he's better than Matthew Golden and Emeka Egbuka, but not better than T-Mac. I like T-Mac a lot. He's his number 2. And then Matthew Golden's his number 3, Emeka Egbuka's number 4, and number 5 is Luther Burton. That's the only thing I would change. I would put Travis Hunter under T-Mac for wide receivers.
Travis Hunter, mark my words. Travis Hunter will be a bust.
Oh my gosh.
You cannot play both. Because you see what he's saying. He's saying, I'm not allowed to play both sides. I'm not playing football. And he's not talking about like making an appearance here and there. He wants to full-time play both sides.
I think that he can play both sides. I just don't think it's full-time. That's my opinion. I think that the guy can play both ways. I think that the issue is the guy can't play 200% of the snaps. He can't play 100% offense, 100% defense like he did in college. He's just he's a talented player, but he's not talented enough where he can deny, kind of his own body, right? Like, he's going to run out of energy at some point. And if he does, then he's going to be absolutely booty cheeks.
Honest. And injuries will be a problem throughout his career, I believe. Because now that he's going to want to play both sides, that means he'll probably play more snaps than the usual offensive or defensive player. And that just skyrockets the chance of injury.
Yeah, and that's why I think personally, dependent on which team he gets drafted by, like for example, say he falls to the Patriots and the Patriots take him, he'll probably play all-time offense and probably moonlight on third downs or like goal line situations on defense. So that's just how I see it. Depends on which team he goes to. Top 5 tight ends. Number 1, there's Tyler Warren, which is should be a go figure. A lot of people have Colson Loveland for some reason. I don't know why. Colson Loveland, like, I get it. He is probably a better route runner and receiver just a little bit, but like Tyler Warren is a better blocker. He's way more explosive, and I mean, if you saw his game, I can't remember who it was actually against, but he had over 200 yards and like 16 catches. I mean, Tyler Warren, man. Colson Loveland's number 2, of course. Mason Taylor, he has at number 3, which I agree with. Elijah Arroyo is number 4, and Harold Fannin is number 5. I would switch those last 2, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Top 5 offensive tackles. Now, this is a really trippy one because who's going to play tackle? Do we really know? Because Will Campbell's probably going to be a guard, but Will Campbell's the number 1 tackle.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. Actually, no, we're going to know in probably about 3 days.
Yeah.
Armand Membu is at number 2. I disagree with this a lot, actually. I think Armand Membu is heavily overrated. I think that his first step back is really awful. I think that he is super predictable in pass pro and in run plays. And because like I was like watching his film and I was like starting to be able to predict if it was going to be a runner or a pass, because Armand Membu, his leg goes way farther back whenever he's in pass pro versus whenever he's playing on the run. He's super predictable. Josh Simmons is my favorite true tackle in this class. The only tackle that I know is going to play tackle. He's my favorite. It's also spelt wrong on NFL app, by the way, so I would recommend you guys get on that.
You know, they'll never mess it up as bad as the Atlanta Falcons messed up Michael Penix's name.
That's crazy. Kelvin Banks Jr., he has at number 4, which, again, that's one of the guys that I think will truly play tackle. Josh Connerly Jr., that's a guy who will play tackle. He's at number 5. No problem with that. I think that what it should be for me is Will Campbell's probably going to get moved to guard. But if we're talking about what's listed as, it should go Will Campbell, Josh Simmons, Kelvin Banks Jr., Armand Membu, and then Josh Connerly.
Wow. If you're listening to my voice at this moment, this is a sign for you to go outside, take a nice, fresh breath of air, turn off the podcast, because that's all we have time for today.